I finished Iron Flame feeling betrayed, not by the story, by the editing, because when you line this sequel up against Empire Strikes Back, Catching Fire, and A Court of Mist and Fury, the structural collapse becomes visible, measurable, and I can prove it. This isn't reader bias, this is what happens when publishing timelines override storytelling integrity, and the evidence is impossible to ignore. Fourth Wing broke records, over 4 million copies sold in 1 year. Book talk obsession, Dragon Riders, enemies to lovers, military academy magic. Then Iron Flame arrived, and the internet split in half. Some readers defended it with their lives, others called it a structural disaster. But here's what nobody's measuring. There's a specific breakdown that explains everything. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly where the foundation cracked. I wanted to love this book. I defended Fourth Wing to everyone who called it Throne of Glass fanfic. Then Iron Flame made me feel lied to, not by Violet and Xaden, by the production process itself. Because what Rebecca Yarros promised and what the publisher delivered, those were two different books. Let's start with what Iron Flame promised. Xaden's secrets revealed, Violet's power evolution, the rebellion against Navarre, venom threats escalating. On paper, perfect sequel bait, but in execution, the pacing became unrecognizable. Fourth Wing had a tight 3-act structure. Rising action, midpoint betrayal, climactic battle. Classic fantasy blueprint. Iron Flame tried to juggle 7 plot lines at once. Violet's training, Xaden's rebellion, the Wyvern threat, Dane's redemption arc, Brennan's secrets, Terran and Andarna's bond evolution, the political conspiracy. That's not world expansion. That's narrative fragmentation. Empire Strikes Back added Yoda, Lando, and Dagobah, but it never lost focus on Luke's internal journey. Catching Fire added the Quarter Quell, but Katniss's emotional stakes remained crystal clear. Iron Flame kept adding pieces but forgot to build the puzzle. The Goodreads reviews revealed a pattern. I loved Fourth Wing but couldn't finish this. Too many subplots. Lost the magic. That's not subjective disappointment. That's when structure fails the story. Pause the video right now. Seriously. Pause. Which Iron Flame subplot killed the magic for you? The Venom mystery that went nowhere? The rebellion arc that felt rushed? The power system that contradicted book 1? Type it in the comments. I'll respond to every single one, because I need to know, did you feel the same fracture I did? Alright, let's keep going. Now, let's talk about what this really reveals. Production timelines. Fourth Wing had clear villains. The system, Dane's betrayal, Jack Barlow, Iron Flame, 3 antagonists, 0 resolution. The Venom vanished for 400 pages. Melgren stays a shadow figure. The Wyvern contradict their own rules. That's not complexity. That's confusion. And here's the part no one's talking about. This is what happens when a book is rushed to publication, when deadlines override narrative integrity. Multiple sources suggest a compressed timeline. Rumors point to 8 months of writing, compared to Fourth Wing's 2-year development. A difference in every chapter. Let me show you the comparison. A Court of Mist and Fury had 19 months of development. Sarah J. Maas worked with editors to rebuild the entire world. The result? A sequel more beloved than the original. Catching Fire had 2 years of refinement. Suzanne Collins restructured the arena to mirror Book 1, but elevated the emotional stakes exponentially. Iron Flame had 8 months, and you can feel it in the world-building inconsistencies. Dragon bonds that break established rules, power systems that contradict Book 1, character motivations that shift without explanation. That's not creative evolution. That's what happens when timelines compress storytelling. And here's what breaks my heart. Rebecca Yarros created magic. 4 million readers felt it. Then the industry rushed her, and we all paid the price. I want to be clear. This isn't about blaming Rebecca Yarros. This is about examining industry pressure and how it affects storytelling. But here's what readers don't know. This pattern has a name in the industry, and Iron Flame is the most public example yet. Because this isn't an isolated incident, it's a symptom of modern publishing. The industry prioritizes speed over structure, viral success over narrative integrity, and readers are starting to notice. Look at the pattern. Discovery of Witches, Shatter Me, Throne of Glass, brilliant book 1s, rushed book 2s. But Iron Flame broke the internet, because Fourth Wing was too big to hide the cracks. This isn't about individual authors failing. This is about an industry that's broken, that values TikTok trends over narrative craftsmanship, that pushes sequels into production before stories are ready. And Iron Flame is the most visible case study, because Fourth Wing was so massive, the structural problems became impossible to ignore. So is the Backlash Fair? Yes, but not just to Rebecca Yarros, to the entire system that created this problem. Readers aren't wrong for expecting better. They're demanding what successful fantasy sequels have always delivered: coherent world expansion, emotional continuity, structural integrity, and when those elements are missing, the disappointment is justified. Because I still believe in this world. I still want Onyx Storm to succeed, but it has to earn it this time, not through hype, not through marketing, through storytelling craft. So what does this mean for Onyx Storm? Book 3, the conclusion. The moment Rebecca Yarros has to prove whether Fourth Wing was lightning in a bottle or the foundation of something legendary. Because if Onyx Storm fixes the pacing, resolves the contradictions, and delivers on the emotional stakes, then Iron Flame becomes a necessary bridge, a setup. But if it repeats the same mistakes, then we'll know this wasn't just timeline pressure. This was something deeper. And here's what I haven't told you yet. There's one specific plot thread in Iron Flame that could redeem the entire trilogy. One reveal that changes everything. One decision that reframes the entire conflict. But only if Book 3 executes it correctly. And that's what we need to talk about next. Because the real question isn't whether Iron Flame failed. The real question is whether Onyx Storm can fix it. The answer is in my next video, dropping in 48 hours. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Because if I'm right about this plot thread, everything changes.